You. Looking back, I thought I would never be before I changed. Yeah. Lots of fine wine glasses, dinner in bed. Yeah. Went and took some culinary classes. Gotta stay sexy for you, baby. Tighten up my body, working on my ghetto Pilates. I'm not going out tonight. We can hit the sofa, cuddle up, satellite surf. Peace and love to the family. It's your boy Corbin reporting live. Shout out to the beautiful Keisha Cole. Shout out to my brother Jaheim. This one right here, I'm going to call 5 on the black hand side. 5 on the black hand side. I'm not going to hold too much of your time out. Peace, love, and prosperity to the family out there. I had a lot of things on my mind, of course, as I always do, that I wanted to get off my chest. And with my YouTube channel, I have an avenue to do that. So I respect and give a shout out first and foremost to my elite enlightened ones. To my elite enlightened ones, my spiritual star fellows. To y'all. But this one is called 5 on the black hand side. First and foremost, rest in paradise to the brother George Floyd. Rest in paradise to the brother George Floyd. Rest in paradise to the brother Ahmaud Arbery. I want to get that brother name right. Rest in paradise to Sandra Bland. Rest in paradise to Sean Bell. Rest in paradise to Eric Gardner. And we can keep on going even though we shouldn't have to. You see this outcry. And for those who have been living under a rock, George Floyd, first and foremost, was the brother who was recently brutally murdered by the police. One of the biggest things about this one was, unlike the other ones that were maybe a month, a year prior, this has just happened about maybe 2 weeks ago. And it's a Sunday still. Thank y'all for watching the Anunnaki video I did. The history of you. So, we never left the Bible. But this is the black hand. 5 on the black hand side. Shout out to Queen Latifah. There is anger, there is mixed feelings, there is reactions across the globe right now. There is rioting, yes. There is peaceful protest, yes. But there is a shift in the planetary world right now. There is a shift in the planetary world. There are some people who is outraged and are outlashing with justice, and there are some people who just want to be a part of something and cause disruption. There are people who are justly outraged, and they're doing their own outlashing, whether it's peacefully or whether it's non-peacefully. But then you have people who have nothing to do with this at all, who just want to be a part of something. They have no personal ties whatsoever to the George Floyd incident, experience, but still want to jump and ride the bandwagon. But that too shall pass. But I just wanted to talk to the family about this. You know, there's a lot of outrage, and some people just don't know how to feel. And for those who have watched the Elite Enlightened channel, you know that I break stuff down that we were taught. I break it down from an esoteric, which means the hidden information that they didn't give us, to everything that we believe and been taught in life. I give you the esoteric breakdown. What they hid from you, I reveal. So when we deal with racism, when we deal with police brutality, it is me, as an esoteric leader, to look at it in every angle. For I tell you, with religion, you cannot look at it from just one-sided window. So as a melanated person walking this planet, I do have the right to speak on this. So welcome to the Darius Corbin channel. And I present to you 5 on the black hand side. So with the recent news and with the recent outcry, the protest, the riots, what you're seeing right now, this is nothing new. Look at the Watts riots. Look at all the other things that have transpired in the past. Look at Martin Luther King. Look at Malcolm X. Look at the civil rights movements. Look what the Black Panthers went through. Look what our ancestors went through. This is nothing new. But what will change in this time is that people are now outlashing and fighting back. And this time, it's going to get real. It's just what it is. This time, you have to stop walking around in fear. This time, you have no choice but to put it into that fear. No more fight and flight. It's fight. No more fight or flight. It is fight. Everybody, whether you're religious or non-religious, you knew this time was coming. We all seen it within the movies. We seen the Purge movies. They've been gearing us up. Hollywood been gearing us up for these. You seen the Purge movies. Everything. Human trafficking. You seen the movie Get Out. So certain information and certain news is about to jump out and pop out about a lot of great so-called political figures that you used to damn near worship. Where are these people right now where you deem the most? When they told you to vote, go out and vote, your vote counts. Do you feel that your vote count for my voters? Do you feel that your vote count to my melanated voters? With everything you're seeing right now. They said Obama passed a law, supposedly, when he was in office to stop police officers from having the right or audacity to even do something like that man did to George. This man had his knee on a brother for 7 minutes or more. As his fellow police officer, his co-worker, sat there and almost like, I dare one of y'all to come. Now, this is when I want to turn the window around. This is where I want to turn the window around, because one of the people that filmed that was a young melanated sister. I think she was 17 years old. So at her age, she's not even really physically prepared. At her age, she's used to carrying that phone around. That's what girls do anyway. That's what teenagers do anyway. So what I'm about to say is excluding her. But we know what the police officers did. We know that. We've seen that live and in living color. But my question is this, family. My question is this. Where were the people? Where were the men? Where were the, not just black, white, Asian, where were the men that I'm sure seen this going on? Did everybody just sit back and watch? I seen at least one man in that video with his whoever, his female companion. Nobody had the audacity, nobody had the fucking guts, nobody had the balls to say, hold on, officer, hold on, get off his neck. Huh? You wouldn't took that ass whooping, whatever, that bullet, whatever. You wouldn't took that for your fellow man? Everybody's talking about Pac, Tupac Shakur, how Pac was in a limousine and he seen two officers beating down a brother. Pac turned the limousine around, got out, blasted on him. Come to find out, those officers were drunk. They weren't in uniform. Boom. Pac won the case. So this is my thing right now. We know what the police officers did. That doesn't go without question. And they will get their just due. If not in the physical, definitely in the spiritual. But my biggest question was, how come nobody, man or woman, how come nobody outside of what the police were doing to that brother stepped up aggressively, pushed that cop down? If the other one got in the way, knock it out. Listen, Harriet Tubman, they just did a Harriet Tubman movie. And from what I heard, it was mixed feelings about it. But I don't want people to think, and just like Martin Luther King, I don't want people to think our leaders were weak. I don't want people to think that our leaders were weak. Because if you know Harriet Tubman, you knew that it didn't matter if you was white or black. If you were black and she ain't trust you, and she thought that you would go back to master and rat, off with your head, not even a thought about it. So a lot of what I see, a lot of what I've been seeing for years since I was a kid, and since I was a kid, I have been dealing with this. I have been outspoken, I have been vocal, labeled an outlaw, labeled a rebel, but I still kept going. And here I am. And here I am. Because a lot of this has to do with mind control. What you mean, Corbin? Look at the movies they've been feeding us. Look at the movies up until what kind of they have been giving us. The Color Purple, Roots, and let's not Roots. Family, y'all remember Roots? Kunta Kinte was from Africa. They went over there, took this man from his homeland, whipped him, brought him over here, whooped him, gave him the master name Toby, then gave him the Bible and said, "This is now your law." Sounds familiar? They gave us movies like Color Purple, which was written by a white man, with the assistance of Alex Haley, which much respect to his legacy, but I didn't. Current news about Alex Haley must be investigated, but much respect to his legacy nonetheless. So I look at things from a bigger broadening, a bigger window. If George Floyd was our uncle, was our father, was our cousin, and we are seeing the cops, I want us to think about this. This is the true question right now, because we know the cops been crooked. This is nothing new. We knew about crooked cops. We knew they've been doing this. Rest in paradise to Eric Garner. I can't breathe. That was the slogan. That's the slogan they're still using, right? If picture us walking for the locals in Ocean City. Picture one of us in Ocean City. Somebody I went to Stephen Decatur with. Somebody I went to Y Middle with. Somebody I went to Glen Avenue with. East Salisbury with. And they're sitting down there. And this cop is having his knee on this person that I grew up with. I'm just going to walk by? You're just going to walk by. Fuck it, man. I don't know what he did. It's fucked up. No, I can't do that. Officer, I'm push you the fuck out the way. We're going to scrabble. It is what it is. Handcuffs, it is what it is. But for me to sit there, you are seeing in live and living color that this cop has his knee on this man's neck. And you see this man losing consciousness. Nobody did nothing. So this is my anger. And you sit back and you visualize, what if George Floyd was a brother, a cousin, a nephew, us? We would want somebody to push this cop. Get this motherfucker off me, man. So everybody wants to know, where are we at now? What do we do now? And me being American, I'm going to definitely use my right to the freedom of speech, which is what, the First Amendment? Don't get me lying. I think it's the first. The freedom of speech. And I'm going to use this for the rest of my remainder of my time on this YouTube channel. So they say, where do we go here, Corbin? What do we do now? Well, we do nothing. We do nothing. We do nothing. We sit back and we let it all unfold. It's unfolding. You don't have to do nothing. It's already happening. It's already unfolding. As above, so below. There's a spiritual change and there's a physical change. When enough is enough on both realms, that's it. There's nothing you can do except watch it unfold. Colin Kaepernick, who is a great symbol in our modern time of justice, the fight for justice, what is his words? What is he echoing? Well, he's echoing revolt. So be it. How can a country like America have the audacity to call people who are protesting, even people who are out here outlashing, how can you call them criminals when this country was founded upon the same shit that we are seeing? War. This country was built off of that. The founding fathers used that as their fucking tool. So what are you seeing now are people, low, middle class, together, who are fed up. I believe in UK and over there they had Brexit. Few years ago, we knew then when we seen with London and UK, and much respect to my people over there, when they went through, we knew that it was only a matter of time before America would have their outcry. People get fed up. Whether it's politics, whether it's financial, people get fed up and they're tired of being slaves to a system that never gives them anything in return. That's the echo within everything, within every American, every citizen. Really, it's global. People are fed up with a system that tries to control them, tries to dictate them, when we are just supposed to be free human beings anyway. Who said in any law that human beings have to do anything slave-wise? Who say that you have to pay taxes? What universal law says that there has to be war? Well, that goes to a whole nother level. So black on the 5 on the black hand side, family. What do we do now, Corbin? We sit back, we play our Curtis Mayfield, we play our James Brown, we sit back and celebrate however we celebrate, and you watch everything unfold. Everything is always going to be with synchronicity. As above, so below, and I cannot say this enough. This country was built on war, raping other countries, draining other countries, kicking their leaders out and making them look like they're the bad guys. So you don't think that all that shit is going to come back. The outcry of a race who have been used, who has been raped, hung, hosed down, attacked by dogs, mutated, DNA spliced. Come on, you guys. People look at the black race like you guys just complain too much. You guys are always complaining about the past. Why? Because it's still going on in the present. But this won't happen in the future. And you're seeing different races now unify. This is what's changing as well. There's different races. There's different genders now. They say there's over 180 genders now, people out there. People is tired of a system in general. Once I told you before, the government stands for what? Govern stands for control. Govern is mind, Govern is mind, is mental. Right? Mint means control. That's what it is. And it might be vice versa, but look that up. But at the end of the day, it's all about control with this system. There's a group of people who are on top of that group of people, who are on top of that group of people. But guess what? The people who are really on top aren't really people. Not really humans. So when I get on here and I talk my esoteric shit that I do, oh so well, and I tell my melanated people that you have to dig deep into your magic, you have to understand who you are magically. You have to understand that your melanin in your body makes you superior to everything else on this planet. You are not just Earth people. You are space, universal, different dimension people. Because what you have in your body is illuminated. You don't have to travel with spaceships. All you have to do is close your eyes and meditate. That's it, and you can go wherever you want to. All the greats like A.R. Casey, H.B. Belansky, Alex Crowley, all these Europeans that studied our ancient knowledge while you was in church praising Jesus and God. This is why this shit gets scary to y'all, because now you're seeing this police brutality and you're seeing the people revolt, and you're like, holy shit, you're feeling your bones now that you're going to have to do something soon. Fight or flight, and it's going to be fight. There is no flight now. There is no running. There is no more running now. If you call yourself melanated and you call yourself black this, black that, and you go every day and you post these, I am black masculine, I am God, I am goddess, then now you got to stand on top of your shit. That's what it is now. Because like I said before, George Floyd could have been our uncle, could have been our brother, could have been our father. Sandra Bland. Gatorade. Sandra Bland could have been our sister, could have been our mother. Sean Bell could have been our nephew. So when this stuff hits home, you really got to prepare yourself, and you should have already been prepared. We had greats like Malcolm X. We had greats like Martin Luther King. And America always want to show Martin Luther King like the same way they want to show him like Gandhi. Yes, Martin Luther King was all about nonviolence, but he wasn't no scared person anyway. He was just trying to show his people that there was other ways to go about it. But if you know the truth, at the end, Martin Luther King linked up with Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X and a young Honorable Louis Farrakhan, for those who didn't know. And at the end, he said what? I fear I led my people into a burning house. Did he not say that? He damn sure did. He said, I fear I let my people into a burning house. You read between the lines. So now what I'm saying is, people ask me, what do you think, Corbin? I think the same way that Ruby did the beautiful sister, Rest in Paradise, Ruby D. I feel the same way that she felt. Mother Sister was her name, and Do the Right Thing. I feel the same way that Mother Sister felt, and Do the Right Thing. And for a person like myself, who have been dealing with this since I was a kid, for a person who had lived in a place like Ocean City, Maryland, and I had Caucasian white friends, and I still do to this day. Some will come over to my house. My mother, we sit back, cook them a good meal, play the PlayStation. When it was time for me to go over their house, I couldn't. Why? Hey, man, I'm sorry, man, but my grandfather, or it would be my mom, whoever it would be, they don't like black people. I'm sorry, you can't come over. And this was 12, 13 years old. But luckily for me, I had two great parents who taught me early about the Black Panthers, Huey Newton, Bobby Seale, the beautiful Afeni Shakur, Black Panther 21 Party. I had a beautiful family who taught me about the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, the Nation of Islam, the power of the FOI. So it was what it was for me, I didn't have to go home and sit back and say, Mom, why is that? I knew what it was, So when you ask me how do I feel about this, well, guess what? We know racism has always been around. It's built the foundation of this planet. And it built the foundation of what we call this great country. So what I'm saying is, now we have to know that if they say revolt, then we have to sit back and let things unfold, however they come. But guess what? A lot of us have kids. So best believe, to my brothers, one of the biggest things that I had to come to grips with when I had a kid, when I had Messiah, my first child, it was a beautiful day. It was a beautiful thing knowing I had a child, knowing I had a son, most definitely. But I knew I had to protect myself way, 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 way more now because I have a son. And I know I had to protect him with my life. His life mattered the most. I would die for my son. So I knew that my life meant more. Because back when I was younger, I was all about, man, whatever, I'm ready to die. But when my son came, I realized that my life meant that much more. Because I got another life to protect now. And I will protect his life and his sister's life with my own. Quick, fast, in a motherfucking hurry. 0 to 100. Room, motherfucker, room. So our biggest thing right now, family, is what are you going to do if it happens to you? What would you do if it would happen to you? Because we sit back, we see in the movies, we see it on TV, but it hits home sometimes. You must protect yourself by any means necessary. Protect you and your family. Our grandfathers, for y'all who've been around, I'm 35, for y'all who've been around for a little bit, you know our grandfathers, our great-grandfathers, they stayed with their weapon and they stayed using their Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. We know our grandparents and our grandfathers, and I had an aunt who kept that thing with her, rest in peace, but she kept that thing in the car with her. Huh? So we always knew about protecting ourselves. So what I'm saying, family, this ain't no time for fear. You got to leave fear at the door. Because tomorrow somebody can come at your door and they can boom, 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 boom. Police, whoever can be. Are you prepared? Are you ready to defend you or your family? Malcolm X was. He's seen his mother and father, he's seen his father get killed, He's seen his father get killed. How many of y'all know that after Martin Luther King died, they killed his mother in a church? How many of y'all know that after Martin Luther King died, they killed his mother in a church? Did anybody defend her honor? So now it's real now, family. Now it's real. Because if we're going to call ourselves masculine melanin men, and we're going to call ourselves warriors, and I'm speaking to my melanated brothers, we're going to have to be just like our grandfathers. It's in our DNA. It's encoded in us. We're going to have to be militant. We're going to have to be able and be ready and be prepared to defend our families at any cost. That goes along with our sisters, protecting our sisters at any cost, protecting our mothers at any cost, protecting our women in general, no matter what color they are, at any cost. Listen, this is also time for people who say, listen, for my whites out there who say they're not racist, now it's time for you to put that work in. This goes for you too. Because if it's a war on people who are protesting, in which they're going to be, a war on people who are opposing what's going on, then it don't matter what color you are. Because if you're joining with us, then you're an enemy of them. And the way they feel, if you're an enemy of my enemy, then you got to go. No matter what color you are. There were people back in the slave days, back in the Nat Turner days, whites, that helped African Americans free and become freemen. So this has had nothing to do with hating any color. No, this is justice at the end of the day. But we do know there's an underlining of white supremacist hate on blacks and browns. This cannot be ignored. And every smart, intelligent white person out there watching this knows that. So what I'm telling everybody right now, it's a time to join together, bring love, but at the same time, know when it's time for war and know when it's time to defending yourself. And we're not claiming war. War is already out there and war has already been there. You can't claim war. War has been out there since America has been founded, 1776 and before then. So how can you claim war? How can you declare any war when the country has been declaring war on their own people for centuries? This is what's disturbing. This is why people are outlashing. Because our country, the country that we said that we are free, the land of the free, you don't even really consider the African American, the black, the melanated ones. You don't even really consider us human beings. For those who have watched my video, is there a war on the first race? On the first race, is there a war on the first race? Go watch that video I did. I ain't got too much time. So at the end of the day, what do we do from here, Corbin? We sit back. If you got a barbecue grill, fire the barbecue grill up. Sit back, whatever your muse is. Protect you and your family. Enjoy life. Be oh so ready. Enjoy your life, but be oh so ready. I want to share this story with the family. Few people know this story, but I'm going to share it. I'm going to end it with this. And understand that racism can end with us. Racism will end. It has no choice. Because when the spiritual beings come down, what is racism when you start seeing a green being? What is racism when there's a 10-foot blue being? What is racism when you see a tall ass black melanated being, an alien with an afro coming down on a pyramid shape spaceship? What is racism to that? What is racism when you see these aliens coming down, these Caucasian looking aliens with silver hair, the Pleiadians? But let me share this story with you guys. I remember, and I went to a school, I graduated from a school called Stephen Decatur High School. And I remember being in, I want to say 11th grade. I was in an English class at the time, and I was called out by, there was like two, I do want to say there was two African-American male teachers in Stephen Decatur. Mr. Sample, major respect, much love to you, brother. You taught me so much even after my graduation. And Mr. Brooks. So